Wednesday the 28th, at the Improv Theater, Jaye Cooper said, "No more." Jaye Cooper said, "It's my time." On the 28th, Wednesday at the Improv Theater, Jaye Cooper took the stage and he said it ain't a comedy competition if Jaye Cooper isn't in the mix. Woo!
Woo! Yeah.
Jaye Cooper went to the stage, Jaye Cooper demanded his time, and Jaye Cooper came up and struck fear into the hearts of multiple comedians who didn't even have the guts to show up and face the man, because Jaye Cooper has moved on to the next level. He beat the odds. He came in, he was disqualified, but they realized that they couldn't have a real comedy competition in town if they took out one of the best comedians in this town. Not just one of the best, but the best. Jaye Cooper, he's here. He's on River Talk. Woo! This is the River's Edge Radio Network, yes. And Jaye Cooper has shown that it ain't a comedy competition if Jaye Cooper ain't in the mix, baby.
That's right. Damn, that was good. That was really good. Man, you should have been a manager.
It is.
You should have been a wrestling manager, man. That was pretty good.
So this is the River's Edge Radio Network. Don't forget you can listen at riversedgepgh.com or tell your Echo device, Alexa, play the River's Edge station on TuneIn so you can get the best, the greatest, the top-end local radio music here in Pittsburgh at the River's Edge. Jay, you struck fear into the hearts of how many comedians?
Well, it was supposed to be 16. 4 dropped out, so there was only 12 of us.
12, yeah.
And
so
I was the last.
4 people. 4 people didn't even have the guts to come on and share a stage with Jaye Cooper. He knew he was coming.
I mean,
and Jay, you got them running.
Yep. Well, you know what? And then I kept the crowd awake too, which was also good. No, we had some good comedians that night. It's always hard to come last, because
But they saved the best for last.
Yeah, they
you can
did.
leave a lasting impression.
They did.
You can put everyone else in their place. You have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And you did it that night.
I must have done that because I'm thinking to myself, like, all these people that they're voting for, like, okay, because in the competition you can vote up to, like, on Wednesday you can vote up to 6 people. So I'm thinking to myself, damn, and I'm number 12, and I'm like, okay, if they already decided the 6 people, it is my job to go up there last and make them cross somebody out and put a check next to my name. So obviously that's probably what happened. So that's why I'm here.
Well, they say in a competition, actually, and I just know this from other competitions, that it's best to actually be first or last, because when you're first, you can make that first impression.
Exactly.
And if you do really, really well, people will judge everyone else based on you, and you become the standard. That's really important. But if you're last, people have a really, really poor memory.
Right.
So if you're last, you have the chance to have a lasting impression whenever it comes time to vote. But then again, you are right, in a situation like this, they get their ballots ahead of time, right?
Right. Yeah, usually, and Howie D. Mack, he's the same way.
He also advanced.
He advanced. Yep.
Struck fear to his group.
So he will be at the Improv. He'll be at the semifinals this coming Wednesday. That's right, Wednesday,
Are
December 5th.
you competing against each other in the semifinals?
Well, I'm going to be in the other semifinals on the following week on the 12th. So if he advances to the finals, then yeah, we're going to be going head to head. If I advance to the finals also, so that'll be cool. But yeah, we like to go. We like to start off in the beginning or in the middle. The ending, it's hard because sometimes the crowd is just like, oh God, there's just so many comedians.
Yeah.
Just, let's just get this shit over with. Luckily for me though, and this also helps, when the comedian before you sucks. So when that dude dropped the bomb and shit, and then I came on, I was like, oh, okay, I got this. Okay, cool. So, yep, and I'm here.
Well, that definitely helps, right? Because if he drops the ball, then you're going to look even better than you already are, and you already were coming in.
Yeah.
You already were coming in with a thunder.
Right. You're talking to a 4-time finalist.
Four-time
finalist, soon to be 5.
Soon to be 5.
Yeah, we'll see.
And because they were afraid, they tried to sabotage you. They tried to keep you out of the lineup. They tried to hold you down. They tried to do whatever they could to put Jaye Cooper in his place, but no one could put Jaye Cooper in his place. And now look at him, right back into the semifinals, right where he belongs.
That's right, where I belong. Shout out to T-Road, man, because he hit me up and he was able to squeeze me in, man, because those who listen on the last show, I got disqualified because I couldn't make it. But yeah, he recognized that I should be in this competition, which is why he called me and said, hey,
do you think that he put his entire career on the line for Jaye Cooper? Do you think he stood up to top people in
his career? No. But no, not even close. But
I'm trying to pump you up here, man.
No, I'm keeping it real. Man. I've known Ro for years.
No, he's a fantastic.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude, but he also recognizes talent when he sees it, and he's a talented guy, and he's seen me grow as a comedian. I've known him for 7 years. He has seen me, when I met him, it was 7 years ago. He was running an open mic down in the Strip District.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we met. And as the years gone, and then going to the Improv every year and stuff, he's seen me grow. He's seen me, find something. Because in the beginning, I was in the shits. But now I am molded. Anybody who knows me knows about the hood rat catchphrase. Everybody knows about that. It's a thing. So,
speaking of which, we have a great Hood Rat of the Week coming up.
We sure do.
Later in today's program. Also a great Cooper's Corner.
Yes, we do.
As well. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this progresses.
Me too.
Glad to see the Howie advance.
Yes. Well, I knew Howie was going to advance, and Howie was being a little biatch. He was like, he's all like, man, I don't know if I'm going to go. Man, you knew you was going to make it. You knew you was going to make it. I had faith in you. My mama had faith in you. Everybody had faith in you.
He's also a top-tier talent in Pittsburgh, so it should be no surprise.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. The dude he's done television already. He's been in films. He's been in music videos. He's interviewed some of the top stars. He's on the internet a lot. People know who Howie D. Mack is, okay? He's been around for a while. The stand-up comedy is no different from all the other shit he did. Did you know he used to be a break dancer?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he used to.
How many things has he done?
You know what? Howie is like the jack of all trades,
yeah,
man.
Like people talk about me and all of the jobs that I've had. Brian Crawford. I don't know if I introduced myself to the show. Jay, Brian.
Did.
This is the River's Edge.
Yeah,
he's like done it all. Like he makes me look like somebody who's done nothing because he's done so many things.
Oh my God, I'm so mad at myself. The guy he's acted already. He's actually toured and done plays all across the country. He has breakdance for famous musical performers. He started his own hit show, Off the Grill, which is how I met him from the television show and everything. He basically was World Star Hip Hop before there was World Star Hip Hop. He started that shit way before. I don't care what anybody says. He started that shit first. He used to be a power lifter too.
Wow.
He was a bodybuilder. Yeah. Yeah, I will. When we off the air, I'll show you a picture of what he looked like. He was like buff,
wow,
like ripped, and I was like, oh my God, like Howard was like a 4'9" pit bull, man. Like he was really solid. So he's done all this shit, plus the Jitney and then the Live, and then doing comedy, doing taking pictures and filming, and just he's all over the place. That's why I keep him around, man, because he motivates me. He motivates me to step up.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about T-Robe. He's the one that's hosting the event. Does he put together the comedy competition, or does he host it?
Well, he's the MC. He hosts it. And then, he'll tell jokes in between, especially when, the tension starts to go down.
Yeah.
Because, if you get a couple of... let's just be real. You get a couple of crappy comics up there and stuff, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but not to the person, just your material was just sucky, and and it brings down the
whole energy,
the energy, the mood, and everything.
Down,
So when he comes up there, he's like, he got to build them back up, get them laughing again, and he's like, okay, now I'm ready to bring the next comic up, so that way they give a damn and they'll vote. So yeah, and T-Robe is very good at that.
Oh yeah,
he is great at crowd work. One of the funniest guys I know.
Yeah, he's great because he is a true talent, not only as a comedian, where he's a great comedian, but he also can serve as the customer service guy too. Like he's really good at handling things when shit goes wrong. You know what I mean? There's somebody who's upset. He's good at smoothing things over.
This is the same guy who will he's kind of like me. Like, if you don't laugh at his shit, now it's like, okay, I'm focused on you now.
Yeah.
Even if it's a packed crowd, forget the other 300 people there. I'm focusing on you. I'm making you laugh, and he does that, and he will put them on blast too, or he'll even call them up on stage.
Oh yeah,
it's what he do. I mean, I love what he does, man, because he has so much energy and passion for the craft, and yeah. So, I mean, and then he relies on me because of what I do. You know, like when I filled in a couple weeks ago when they messed up on the ballots. They didn't mess up this time.
Well, that's because we put them in their place on this show. We called them out. We corrected the problem. We said, hey, no more funny business.
Yeah, that shit had to stop.
That shit had to stop?
Yeah, it had to stop. Because I'm thinking to myself, first of all, how did you miss the first 2 rows of the place? Like, that made no sense to me. I'm just glad that wasn't an issue this past Wednesday. And shout out to all the comedians who advanced with me that night, from Sean McCarthy. She is hilarious. You got to see her one day. We got to get her on the show.
Okay.
Sean McCarthy is one of the funniest rising. I mean, she's only been doing comedy for a couple months, and she is awesome. She brought the majority of the crowd Wednesday.
Wow.
The majority.
Did she advance?
Hell yeah, she advanced.
I figured she would.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that suck if you brought the crowd and you didn't advance?
That's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, even if she had bombed, she still would have advanced anyway. But
can you imagine, like, if you were like a really bad comedian, like the opposite?
Yeah.
Right? You brought the entire place and you stunk up so bad.
Yeah.
No one voted.
Oh, I've seen it.
Have you?
I've seen it.
Ooh.
Oh my God, I have seen it.
That's gotta be depressing.
It's embarrassing. I've seen guys make it to the finals and bring like a third of the crowd and still don't advance. They're like, man, I brought the people. It don't matter, especially when you got the judges in the finals, because they really have the majority of the vote.
Oh, really?
You know, they kind of weigh in. Yeah, their vote's a little bit heavier than the crowd. So.
Okay.
And that's basically what we're doing in the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I read the rules. In the semis, it's half crowd and half judges. I think that's what it is. So now I gotta woo, 2 sets of people. But I've done it before, so I rest my case.
And you got to beat the man, because you know that they're going to be coming in. They're going to be looking to take you down. They're going to be looking to put Jaye Cooper in his place, because they're going to be afraid that you're going to come up through the ranks and challenge them for comedy supremacy. So,
and you know what? It's amazing because, with the whole new management at the Improv, it's like I got to start all over again. I built so much rapport with these people and stuff, and it's so amazing. The manager that run the place, like, she saw me and my mama when we came in, and she sat us down. She said, enjoy the show. She didn't even know who I was. Yeah. And I'm like, I know you know who I am. Like, maybe because I had the hat on, she didn't see the braids or whatever. But I'm like, I've been coming here for 6 years. How do you not know who I am by now? Come on, I've been coming here every month for years. And she just was like, hey, how are you doing? And all that. I'm like, oh my God, she doesn't even know who I am, does she? Now you know what? This is going into next year and the years going on further. Yeah, everybody's going to know Jaye Cooper.
Everybody.
Enough of this. Yeah. I'm sick of this people not knowing Jaye Cooper shit. No, they need to know who I am.
They don't know the name of Jaye Cooper. They've been living under a rock.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Speaking of Jaye Cooper, first off, before we jump into this,
okay,
I must pose a question. This is a leading question, because we're going to jump into this in a little bit. Do you think the Turnpike cost too much? Do you think the Turnpike is hurting business in Pennsylvania? We'll let you think on that. We'll let you respond. 412-407-2PGH. That's the number to text. 412-407-2744. You can tweet me at RiverTalkPGH. And, of course, the most popular option, the Facebook Live feed. But before we do that, let's roll into Cooper's Corner. This is the River's Edge.
Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Waka, 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 waka. Cooper's Corner. And the reason why I did that, I didn't make it sound like a takeoff.
Yes.
Because I wanted to talk about Southwest Airlines.
Ooh.
Over in,
you know what? I was even thinking it sounded like almost like a bird as you were doing it.
Oh,
I was
not bad.
I was getting a bird feeling.
That bird plane, I'll take it. This is actually a situation that happened 2 weeks ago in Orange County, Florida. Orange County, California. I think it was in California. Yeah. It's in Orange County. Let's just say that, okay? And a Southwest Airlines gate agent. She's being accused of being awful in front of a 5-year-old girl, and on social media because of her unique name. The girl's name. This is a 5-year-old girl. Her name is Absidy Redford. But what makes the name interesting is how it's spelled. It's one of the weirdest names I've ever seen out, just written down. It's actually spelled like the alphabet, ABCDE, but it's pronounced Absidy, like ab dash city. It's interesting. I've never heard of. I've never
stupid.
seen it.
I'm sorry. I'm siding with the Southwest Airline Associate.
So the agent, she started laughing and pointing at Tracy Redford's daughter, that's the mother, and talking to the employees, and the mother overheard. And she turned her head and she said, "Look, I can hear you. So if I can hear you, my daughter can hear you. I appreciate it if you stop." Of course she didn't stop. While sitting there, the agent took a picture of the mother and daughter's boarding pass and then chose to post it on social media, mocking her. Ooh. And it was later brought to her attention by someone who saw it on Facebook, and they reported it to Southwest Airlines.
Now, was she fired?
It hasn't been documented yet.
Okay.
It hasn't been documented yet. So far, the formal complaint was sent. Southwest Airlines hasn't done anything yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that should have been an immediate firing, even though I have feelings about this whole story. There's so many different feelings. So, okay. That's a privacy issue. You can't post someone's... Because here's the thing. What if these people were trying to go incognito, right? What if they were trying to avoid somebody? Well, now you've posted it on social media what their travel plans are. If there's somebody after them, for example,
right,
they could be in a dangerous situation. That's extremely compromising.
Absolutely.
She should definitely be fired for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, Cinnamon just said she's fired. Okay,
she's
that's
fired.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, because see, I only went by 2 articles that I saw.
Cinnamon, who responded on the Facebook Live feed at River Talk PGH on Facebook, be sure to join the conversation as well.
Thank you, Cinnamon.
That's great. Yeah, no, but here's the thing. You name your kid A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
What do you expect? I hate whenever these parents name their... Like there was a teacher in the high school I grew up in, or I went to out in Norwin, who named their child a color. Like I think it was navy blue or something like that. You as a parent,
navy blue.
Yes, you have set your kid up. Now this is a grown ass woman from Southwest.
Yes,
but you have set your kid up for humiliation, for treacherous mockery throughout their entire lives, especially their young lives, going through, especially middle school.
Yeah. Definitely.
You have potentially...
That's going to confuse a lot of teachers. Like, a lot of teachers are just going to... They're not going to spell it out. They're going to read it out. Like, they're just going to say, A, B, C, D, E?
Yeah.
Is there an A, B, C, D here? Like...
But I mean, you're an asshole as a parent if you're going to name your child something like that and set your child up for a childhood of misery. Like, why would you do that to your kid?
It is.
Now, it's one thing if you want to come up with a very unique name that is an actual name.
Well,
there are a lot of names out there that...
She could have just called her Absidy, like spelled it like how they tried to pronounce it, like A-B-C-I-T-Y or A-B-S-I-T-Y. I mean, it's still stupid, but that would have been cool, though. But
yeah, at least that's like a unique name.
But having it
something.
like like the alphabet, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I'm glad that she stopped at the E.
Yeah.
Because what would have been like if it had stretched out a little bit more?
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, do you...
Absidef.
Now, what do you feel about the parent? Do you think that the parent has made a poor decision in naming the kid?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that was dumb. Usually, it's the rich people that I thought that made the stupid names.
Yeah, usually it is, or it's like...
Yeah, because when you got money, you can give your kids stupid names that don't matter. Because
she's flying Southwest. She ain't got money.
Right, she ain't got no damn money. She ain't riding she ain't on no private jet or nothing. Shit, nah, she ain't on no on the Trump plane or anything. No, she is riding Southwest, one of the cheapest airlines to go on to, one of the most talked about airlines as far as being unprofessional and stuff. So when I read this article, I already knew.
Also very affordable.
It's very affordable. Yeah, well, basically you get what you pay for. Basically, but yeah, she's dumb. She's dumb. To give that girl that name, and she's so adorable looking too. And then I read that she also is I don't even know why they even mentioned it in the article, but she's epileptic too, and I was just like, "Aw,
yeah,
that's sad."
Cinnamon is commenting on here. She's like, "Look at my name, Cinnamon. Your name isn't messed up. Like I like Cinnamon's name. It's not like it's A B C D E or some sort of like." cinnamon sounds like a name.
Right. When I think of cinnamon,
you look at,
think of a great spice or a porn star or a stripper, and
But that is like a name. Like, I feel like that, it's not like
Right.
navy blue. Like, no one, that's two names, first off. That's two words. It's not anything, like, interesting. I don't know. Like,
right.
it's...
Her name. I mean, who doesn't like cinnamon? Unless you're allergic to it. I mean, it's a great.
Are people allergic to cinnamon?
Who knows? People are allergic. There's people that's allergic to water. So
This is true. We're certainly not allergic to cinnamon on this show. We appreciate all
absolutely
of
not.
the comments.
We love her very, very much.
So Jay, the Turnpike. Have you ever driven the Turnpike? Because I know you've just started driving.
Now which one are we talking about?
The Turnpike. It's the one that you pay. It goes all the way across the state. You pay money.
I have not gone there yet. No.
Yeah.
No.
So the Turnpike over the years has consistently become more and more expensive. It used to be somewhat affordable. Now the Turnpike has gone up so much. It's gone up. I'm looking at this article. It came out from the Tribune Review. Basically, the governor's saying it's too high. Governor Wolf. The Turnpike has risen its tolls 11 consecutive years.
Damn.
And the Turnpike's a mess. It's rubbish. You go onto the Turnpike, there's potholes. I mean, it is insane. It's like riding down some back alley. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to Ohio, where the Turnpike is grand. It's glorious. Big, wide roads, high speed limits, low prices.
Makes you not even want to leave the state because it's costing you.
Oh, well, it's actually,
Exactly.
it's better when you leave the state. It's
Well,
being in the state that is expensive.
And well, how much are they charging right now? Like,
So
as far as...
the other day, I drove the Turnpike from Pittsburgh to Irwin,
Okay.
which is only one stop.
Okay.
And it used to cost, I think, like 70-some cents.
Mm-hmm.
It's now up to $2.10 to drive just a few miles down the road.
To do the same thing you did years ago.
Yeah.
That makes no damn sense.
$2.10. It's insane.
It's like the cost of gas. It's like the gas isn't any different, but the price just fluctuates.
Yeah.
all the time.
It's
All the
crazy.
time.
So the governor is saying, so they're going to raise the rates again. So it's going to cost now, it says it specifically talks about the Irwin to Pittsburgh drive. It's now going to cost $2.25. So it's going to be giving up another 15 cents
Jeez, man.
in January 6th. So it's going to cost almost $2.25 to drive to one exit on the Turnpike. If you have the Easy Pass, it's $1.38. The governor's saying it's ruining business. It's bad for business. He says here, to quote the governor, he says it turns out to be just burdensome for the Turnpike and obviously for people who use the Turnpike. He said it's transferring money into highway construction outside of the Turnpike. So that's true. So what he's talking about is an act. It's called Act 44, where the Turnpike has to make annual payments to PennDOT. And it has paid so far $6.1 billion towards PennDOT.
Damn.
So even though the Turnpike prices are so high, which, like, you go to Ohio and the prices go down drastically.
Okay.
In much better conditions, too. The
Okay.
Turnpike's in much better shape. The reason why PennDOT puts $0 into the Turnpike. So under this Act,
So what are they
44,
doing with the money?
all of the other highways. PennDOT focuses on every other highway that's a state highway, but they do not put any money into the Turnpike. So the Turnpike is pushing out all of this money to PennDOT and receiving no services for it.
Okay.
So even though the Turnpike prices are sky high, it's not benefiting the Turnpike at all. And the Turnpike actually usually runs in a negative, like they're running in the red financially every year, despite having these insanely high tolls.
Wow.
So the governor is basically saying that people aren't coming into Pennsylvania. It's hurting the economy. It's bad for business. I agree, especially when you come over Ohio. First off, you're on this grand highway, this grand Turnpike, which is fantastic. You come into Pennsylvania, and they literally shake you down at the border, take your wallet, rip the cash out of your hand. They literally charge you to enter the state.
Wow.
It's crazy.
The sheriff of Nottingham of tolls. Like,
Yeah.
It's just...
It's insane. So
who do we talk to about this, to get it resolved? I mean, do we talk to the governor? Do we talk to PennDOT?
Well,
do they need to work something out together or
no,
something?
what you got to talk to is the state legislature. So
Okay.
you got to talk to your local congressman, not your U.S. congressman, but your congressman for the General Assembly, your state senator.
Okay.
Those are the people that need to enact a law to change Act 44 for the governor to sign. I'm glad to see that the governor is on board. Governor Wolf, man, he has been singing my tune for quite some time recently. He has got it right when it comes to infrastructure and things like that. And I'm glad to see that he is really talking about this and focusing on this because it's gone on for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
These
How many?
prices
You
are
said
crazy.
11
consecutive years they've risen the price on the turnpike, and it's still not enough to meet the financial demands that are put on them arbitrarily by the state. There's really no reason for them to be paying all of this money out to PennDOT. As we said, they receive nothing from PennDOT.
Yeah. And you said that the PennDOT is using the billions of dollars that they're getting, and they're using it for the other highways.
Yeah. Because PennDOT actually doesn't work on the turnpike at all. They have their own
So what
road people.
highways are they working on specifically?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many highways.
And how long will it take for it to get done?
Oh, it'll never be done.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's like in Pittsburgh, no matter where you go on a busy road, there's always construction going on. And I'm thinking to myself,
Well, you also have to look at there's a difference between city and state roads. I know a lot about this, actually.
Okay.
So, like in Pittsburgh, most of the roads that you're talking about are city-owned roads.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're looking, and when you look at like 376,
Yes.
roads like that, I believe those are state roads. So, you'll notice like a lot of roads are in bad condition, and they could be state roads.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, I mean, it is, I guess you could say it's the state's fault, but really it is, but it isn't. It's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Every road, every highway is categorized.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like your they're categorized by the number of, like, it's weird. I'm trying to think how they categorize it, but basically it's by importance.
Okay.
So you get down to certain roads, like out in North Huntington, I had lived on a road called Brownstown Road for a time.
Okay.
And that was actually a state road.
Okay.
But it's so far down in their list of priorities that it's probably never going to get the work that it deserves.
Okay.
Because they've got to take care of, like, 376, for example. They got to take care of that. There's also county roads. You look at those bridges, those three sister bridges downtown, the yellow bridges by PNC Park.
Mm-hmm.
Those are actually owned by the county. They're not owned by the city or the state. So you have county roads, you have local roads, you have state roads, then you have federal roads. So like Route 30, U.S. Route 30, that's a federal road. So no state money is going to be put into fixing up Route 30. They may use state resources, but it's coming through federal funding.
Okay.
So some of these roads will just never be hit. PennDOT is only allocated to fix X amount of miles per year. And I can't remember the exact number, but based on the number of roads that they're allowed to maintain, that they're allowed to repave, some of these roads are likely to never be repaved. It's just not feasible. I mean, eventually it'll get bad enough that they'll repave it, but through normal wear and tear maintenance, they're not going to get the love that they need unless there's a real major issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out what exactly are they doing on 376, like heading towards I think it's 376 West. I'm not 100% sure. Heading towards Homestead.
That would be east.
It's east.
Yeah.
Okay, east. Okay, so I have to go down that way, of course, to get to the Improv. Soon as I make that turn off the Liberty Bridge, about a mile, and the next thing you know, 2 lanes become 1. You're going 40. Next thing you know, I'm going 30 now. And now, and then having to merge, and then having to like yield to the cars coming from the other lane on the other side. I don't even know what route that thing is called and stuff. And I panic, especially at night when I see that, and I'm thinking to myself, and they're saying, okay, it's 40, but now it's 30 now. But I'm seeing all these orange cones out here, but I don't see nobody out there. What is being fixed? The road looks fine. I'm trying to see what the hell are they doing?
Yeah,
What are they
I'm
trying
not
to do?
sure.
Are they building something? Are they paving something? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up now because it's really bothering me. Because now I got to be there Wednesday to support Howie, and I know that I'm gonna have to do that again. So, that 376.
A 376 is worse. It was so poorly designed. The idea that you would have now this, of course, was designed so long ago whenever vehicle mobilization wasn't the number one way to mobilize people. People were using more public transit and things like that. But it was the idea, thinking about it through a modern lens, the idea that you would have the major access to a city run through a tunnel inside of a hill is just ludicrous. What they should have done is went around the hill or just completely dozed the hill down.
Absolutely.
And turned it into a much bigger highway.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But that's not what they do. Now, me and my mom, we joke about it all the time. I always say to my mom, I'm like, how, who came up with this? Like, the roads and everything. My mom just said, these guys from back in the day, they all sat around and got high and they just drew it. on a blueprint. They just got high and just came up and well, it'd be nice if this one crossed with this one and this one crossed with this one. Well, what if that one bridge goes down? How are you supposed to get to this street? Well,
you would think they would be high.
Go all the way down there and turn around. Yeah, that's what I feel like every time I see a bridge closed or something or a major road being closed. I'm like, oh my God, the rerouting is ridiculous. I see it on my GPS all the time.
Well, a lot of times that has to do with the roads as well because, for example, if you shut down a state road, I don't believe they're allowed to reroute you through locally owned roads.
Okay.
So they have to route you through other state roads. So that could take you way out of your way.
Okay.
And so there might be a real quick way to get around it, but they got to take you, they got to zigzag you all the way through other state roads in order to get you back to where you're at.
And now you got and then that one street, I can't remember what it's called right now, but I know it's called Beach. It's like Beechwood Boulevard or something in the residential, but then when you go past that gas station, it's that road that leads towards the Grays Bridge that takes you to the waterfront. Yeah. And just on the way there, like I'm like going past potholes. There's a pothole or a manhole. No, not potholes. There's manhole covers that have potholes, and it's like every 1/3 of a block there's one there, and I'm like, why are there so many manhole covers on this road?
Yeah.
Why? I don't get it. Never paid attention to it when I was in the passenger seat, but now that I'm driving and shit and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why are there so many of them?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I fear that this may turn into an educational show on how roads work, but
Right.
do you know how potholes are formed? It's actually really fascinating. You've got the road, and what happens is water gets underneath the road.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets underneath the road and it freezes, like we've had those very cold days, the ice will expand, and then whenever it thaws out, the ice will retract back into water, and then the road will depress, and that's what causes a pothole.
Okay.
So it's actually an ice underneath the road de-thawing that causes the road to cave in.
Well, I guess that would explain why there's like 3 on every block.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Still a pain in the ass, though.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's still a pain in the ass.
And that's one thing that the governor did do is he pledged all of this money. I have to follow up with that to see if it came through, but he pledged all of this money to this particular area to help fix potholes and fix the roads and things like that, which was great.
Okay.
See, now people complain about the gas prices, but I'll be honest, that was one of the best things that has happened to this state was the gas tax. People I know right now are ready to throw daggers at me. People are angry. People are going to be complaining on this show right now because I said that because people don't want to pay it, and it is cheaper everywhere else you go. But our roads are so terrible, and that gas tax is what's paying to fix these roads, and somebody's got to pay to fix the roads. In my opinion, it should be the people that use them.
And you know what? I always
Unless
wonder.
we get the cyclists to do it. Because we all know that the automobile drivers are paying for all of their shit.
Oh God, they're all like lean. They have really no really good muscle tone to do that type of back-breaking work. They wear tight things when they.
Well, I don't
ride
mean
the
actually
bike.
going out and fixing the roads. I mean
I
paying
thought you
them.
meant.
I mean shaking them down for the money.
Oh, I thought you meant them actually going out there and physically doing the work. Okay, because I was about to say them in little tights. I can't see them doing the work. No. I was gonna say something and I totally forgot. Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks.
But yeah, I'm a big fan. I think the gas tax was not a bad idea. What drives me the most nuts about the gas tax is the fact that they're too afraid to call it a tax and they called it fees. And I'm just like, just call it what it is. It's a tax. It's a gas tax.
Gas tax, hidden fee, whatever they want to call it. Yeah. Oh, I remember what it was now. I feel, at least in my neighborhood, in the residential part of Beachview, whoever paves the streets when it's done, I feel like they use the cheapest type of concrete knowing that, okay, this is going to be enough to hold you for at least 6 months or so, and then it's going to turn into rubble again, and then we're going to have to wait, because things don't get done until people complain about it. That's usually how it is. So,
well, what's the right solution when you only have so many funds and you have to pave so many areas? Do you?
I mean, if you do it, I don't know what the best concrete is or the best pavement type stuff, but I would say use the best shit you got. I mean,
yeah, but then you don't pave someone else's street, and they're upset because they can't drive down the road.
Right, and then here's the other problem: if the paving is done perfectly and then nothing bad happens to it, these construction people are not out of work, but they're losing work. So I don't think they ever
have to fear for that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
Pennsylvania.
In a perfect world, I'm doing air quotes. In a perfect world, if the streets were done the right way, construction people would be out of work. As far road work,
I don't think that's possible in this state with the
Me
climate. Either. No, I mean, even if you did things the perfect way, we don't live in a state that's really friendly for roads. We live in a state, especially Pennsylvania is really worse than a lot of places. We talked about the freezing rain, right? That gets underneath the roads. It expands the road, creates the potholes. Mm-hmm. Other places don't have those kind of issues. You go up north of us, for example, you have a lot more snow. We get a lot of mixed weather where it goes up and down. People act like, oh, it's been warmer than it's ever been, or it's been this or that. It's like, no, the weather actually, for winter-wise here in Pennsylvania, has been pretty consistent, at least throughout my entire life. We don't have super intense wintry winters. We've had a few blizzards growing up, but that's an exception. That's not the rule. We usually have these winters that are very mild. You've got days that are very cold, and because of that, you have the water that freezes and dethaws. It's a constant issue here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's just not a system. It's why they tell you not to get. Sometimes they tell you not to get very nice cars because the roads will destroy your cars here in Pittsburgh. It's just really not a climate. If one thing, Pittsburgh is a very mild climate, so it's good for warding off natural disasters, except for apparently flooding this year. But it's really not good for roadways and keeping roads up to task. I don't think.
And on top of that, we also have one of the worst drivers in the nation.
Yeah, there was a poll that came out. I actually have some contentious issues with that.
We spiked up big time.
I don't agree with it, actually.
I believe last year, if I read it right, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I read it right, where we was ranked 27 last year, and then we bumped up to 13.
Okay.
And I'm like, damn.
Do you think
we went up 14?
Do you think that poll is accurate? Do you think that we are among the worst in the country?
I mean, when you see, it's hard because the other cities they were naming, I never heard of them before. Do I think I would like to say that we're probably in the top 50 as far as cities, major cities in the United States. Yeah.
I don't think our drivers are that bad. I'll be honest.
I don't know about
I think
ranked number 13. I mean, that's like really up there.
I don't think our drivers are that bad. I think we're a victim to terrible infrastructure. I'll be completely honest. I drove down to Tennessee recently, and on my drive down there, it was just mind-blowing how incompetent these other drivers are going across.
In Knoxville? Was that what it was?
It was out in Pigeon Forge, but the drivers were horrendous. And in that area, you have a lot of tourists. So you have people from all over the country coming to that area. The drivers were just out of this world bad. Okay. I know, being someone in the passenger seat in Florida, you almost have a heart attack trying to drive through a parking garage as people are going 60 miles an hour through a parking garage. You have to look at the conditions that we live in here in Pittsburgh. See, I actually have a lot of issues with that study because, there are issues with drivers here in Pittsburgh, but is it because they can't drive, or is it because of the conditions that they're thrown into? You look at our highways, for example. On-ramps into a highway, they're supposed to give you enough lead time to match the speed of traffic and seamlessly merge in. You do realize, like, when you merge onto a highway, you're not supposed to slow down, right? You're supposed to...
Right. You're supposed to speed up.
But it's impossible to do that. Because the way our roads are designed, a lot of times these on-ramps are so shallow.
Very narrow.
And because of that, people have been conditioned to now not use the entire ramp, but to stop as if it's a stop sign instead of a yield sign and wait for an opening. That's by poor design. That's a result of poor design in our highway system. You look at downtown, it's a city that's been built over 100 years ago because of the way the city's laid out, because it's a grid on top of a triangle in a valley surrounded by 3 rivers. It's very difficult to modernize and update that city. So these roads are really the same width. They may be updated in terms of their construction, but they're really the same width that they were over 100 years ago, like 200 some years ago. So you don't have the turning lanes that you have in other cities. So people have to run into the intersection to try to get out. I don't think that our drivers are so horrible. I think that the conditions in which they exist are so bad.
I think it's a mixture of both a little bit. Just in my 3 months of experience on the road, we have a lot of impatient drivers out there.
Sure, but again...
Hell, even you're an
extremely
impatient driver
impatient.
sometimes. I've rode with you many times. I've seen you honk at them and stuff. Yeah, people are really impatient. And I want to let everybody know, anybody who drives behind me, I am driving the speed limit. I need to familiar myself with the road first. I'm not doing it. These people want to drive 10 miles more than what the speed limit says, and I'm not doing that. Not doing it. If it says 55, I'm doing 55. I ain't doing 63, 64.
Sorry,
no.
I just fell asleep thinking about the concept of driving behind you because it's going to be so lethargic.
And you know what you could do if you were in that situation? You can just drive around me. Unless, of course, we're on that 376 heading back towards Liberty, and we're just on one lane, and you have no choice but to stand, but to drive behind me and just patiently wait as I, man the speed limit from 40 to 30. So
it's more of a suggested speed, Jay. You got to get with the times. Didn't they teach you that in your
They did teach
manual?
me that, but
It's a suggested
my God.
time. Well, they shouldn't have taught you that because that's actually not the case.
Right. They kind of like said, well, technically you're not supposed to do that, but when you take the test, make sure that you keep it at the speed limit, or if not, under. But when he was teaching me, though, we was going 60, 70, and a 55 and stuff. I was coasting. He was like, put some more gas on it. I'm like, okay. I was feeling it. It was nice.
I remember being taught to drive by a driving instructor, and I was going down a highway, and I was going over the speed limit, so I started to put the brake on, and he yelled at me. He said, no, never, ever put your brake on the highway.
Okay.
I said, oh, okay.
You know what? It just hit me why I coasted so much back then when I was test driving and didn't give a shit, because it wasn't my car.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the main reason why I did it, because I'm like, if I crashed it, it's well, they're insured. I ain't got to worry about it. I'm only paying to be taught how to drive and stuff. So if I crash, oh well. So I coasted with no problem. Maybe it's because I'm in my own car now, where I'm more careful. These people, they will ride your bumper. I mean, just at my job today,
drive faster.
There were people. What if you can? Okay, look, there was a propane tank truck that was parked right outside my job on 5th Avenue in Oakland, one of the busiest streets in Oakland, right there. So cars are trying to come out of the garages, coming down from all those other side streets, from McKee to Dara, all those streets, yeah. And the traffic was bad for like 3 hours, and guys were like on each other's bumpers, like so crazy, like their head went up their ass, and they could see what they had for breakfast. It was that bad. And I'm like, slow down. Like one car would move just a little bit, another one just zoom up, and it's like the nose was like right under its ass. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
If it's they had the guys in the green vests and everything, they're controlling the traffic and stuff. Plus you got the buses down there too. Just pay attention and just listen to what these people are telling you. It's not a race, people. You will get where you need to go. If you're late, then oh well, you should have left earlier. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, but you can't plan for every single incident that we have.
I'm just saying, because I just in the years of where I work, I see accidents every single week.
Yeah.
That intersection between
Oakland is a difficult place.
Between Dara and 5th. It is accidents at that intersection all the time, and that is why I will not drive in Oakland.
412-4072-PGH. That's the number you can text at RiverTalkPGH on Twitter and, of course, on the Facebook Live chat. Do you think the Turnpike is too expensive? Do you have any questions about how the roads are fixed? We can talk to you about that. The only reason why I know as much as I do with that is having worked with the House of Representatives. We had to deal with PennDOT issues there. But yeah, let us know. 412-4072-PGH, 412-407-2744 at RiverTalkPGH and on the Facebook Live chat. Don't forget, this is the River's Edge Radio Network at riversedgepgh.com.
Look, we came, we saw, we died. We came, we saw.
It is now time
we died.
for Hood Rat of the Week, and I got a good one for you. And of course, Florida is always the best place for hood rats. We get them all the time. A Florida woman is facing an aggravated assault charge after authorities said that she passed gas in line at a dollar store and pulled a knife on a man who complained about it. 37-year-old Shanetta Yvette Wilson broke wind while waiting in line at a Dollar General Sunday night and upset a nearby customer. Now, the report says that the offended customer and Wilson then got into an argument in reference to the defendant farting loudly, very loudly. And Wilson then pulled a small folding knife out of her purse and told the victim that she was going to gut him. While moving as it was going to attack him. So Wilson was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, just to threaten. But I have never heard of somebody being arrested for an attempted, because of farting. That is the crazy. I had to talk about that. That is so crazy. And that's how she looked while waiting. Actually, you know what? I know Howie's watching the show. He looks at if he saw that picture of that woman, he would have been like, yeah, she looked like somebody that would be a Dollar General.
Why didn't she just get a bottle of Gas X?
Or she could have just ignored what the man said.
I wouldn't have ignored it. That was super rude. I would have definitely said something if I were her.
I mean, see, I don't know. Me, because people who shop in those stores, half of them are crazy.
Sure. Obviously, she pulled a knife on someone.
Right. People do shit like that in those type of establishments. So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for things that might happen. You got to watch what you say around these people. So he could have just kept the comment to himself. Like me, if a woman as scary as her, because she's a scary looking chick, and if she broke wind, I'm just gonna hold my breath, pay my stuff, and then when I step out, I'm talking shit about her. But I'm not gonna do it in the store while waiting in line. I mean, luckily, nothing happened to the man. Nothing happened to the customer. But she could have gutted him though, and he could have bled out all because he opened his mouth.
Yeah, should have kept his mouth shut.
That's what I'm saying. You got to watch what you say, people. It's bad enough people getting in trouble on social media, but what's before social media?
But I mean, it is rude as hell. Like people feel like they can just say whatever they want to everybody else. It's just like sometimes you just like a little bit of tact, a little bit of class goes a long way.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable the way people feel that they can talk to other people in 2018. I don't feel like it's ever been that way in certain regards. Like people maybe behind closed doors, but people weren't just so openly aggressive over stupid stuff. Like, and I'm one of those people. I wouldn't pull a knife out on someone, but I definitely put them in their place.
For her to have to pull out a pocket knife and threaten to stab somebody,
I think she's the victim.
To a degree, I guess, because she was humiliated.
Yeah.
In public. I mean, hey, farting happens.
It happens.
It happens. I mean,
people poop.
I can't say that I've never been in line and squeezed out one. I try to keep as quiet as I can, like how we do. We try to squeeze our butt cheeks together and, try to let out that little quiet butt trumpet type of sound. But, apparently hers was like an orchestra.
Well, she had to go.
But when you got to go, you got to go.
I'm sorry. She's the victim here, 100%.
Yeah.
He's a monster. He he deserved to be threatened. I think that she should get off. If I had the money, I'd pay for her lawyer. I feel like she's been victimized. I feel like she's been verbally assaulted. She's the victim. She's the one who should feel that she's been harassed.
Yeah, ain't it amazing that her name came up, but not the
But
customer
not
who
his?
complained
Yeah.
about it? I find that interesting.
I think she should countersue him for harassment.
She
for,
should.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there was cameras there. There's got to be cameras at a Dollar General, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it all started from him, from the customer. None of this would have happened if he hadn't opened his mouth. So yeah, he should be in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Verbal assault. That is a felony to a point, right? Like it's probably like some
I don't
very
think it's
very low.
I don't think it's a felony.
It's not.
I doubt it.
Like even if you like continue to talk about it, antagonize them and stuff. I guess only if you come at them in a
If
terroristic.
it's harassment,
Yeah.
you could get someone on harassment
Yeah.
charges. That's a little bit different. But just telling someone that they farted at the gas station.
And probably, I wish they would have went into detail what the guy said. I really wish they had said that because I want to know, what did he say? Did he say, "Oh my God, like Jesus Christ, damn, oh my mouth was open"? Like I want to know. What did he say that made this woman jump?
Well, that is true though. She is
reach in her purse and pull out a damn knife. Like seriously, he had to really been running his mouth.
or she was just on something.
She could have been.
I mean,
She
she's
could've
still a
been.
victim, but
Right.
it's not normal to pull a weapon out on someone either.
Right. Oh God, Cinnamon. Really? She had to say crack is whack. You know what? She kind of looked like she probably was in line trying to buy a lighter for her spoon. No, let me stop. That was mean.
But even
I'm
if
sorry.
you are on something,
yes, even if you
you
are on
still
something,
deserve to
you
be
still
treated with a certain level of respect.
right because a customer is a customer regardless of how you look or how bad your farts smell
Yeah.
or how loud your farts are. Seriously, I mean that's just. The subjects we talk about.
Oh, it's fantastic. Don't forget every Friday morning at 10 a.m. right here on the River's Edge from the overly analytical mind of Matt Geica. It's Geik's Got Game. Matt orders up sports talk his way, including the nitty-gritty details of the games and plays, in addition to the big picture perspective on how sport fits in real life. If the latest hot take just doesn't satisfy, if your sports fan palate is more than refined, belly up for Geik's Got Game every Friday, 10 a.m., only on the River's Edge. Jay, what do you have coming up?
Tomorrow. That's right. Saturday, December 1st. It's December now. Shoot.
Ugh.
Yeah, we got the
So depressing.
Yeah, well, let's get this December over with and everything will be cool.
No, it won't, because then we've got January, and then we've got February, and then we've got March.
Good things will come in that. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. But for tomorrow though, we got the Food and Funny, which is going down at the Bites Restaurant in Verona on Salzburg Road. Howie D. Mack will be hosting the show, featuring myself and Christina McNeese, who's in the she advanced also in the competition. Basically, everybody besides David the Frog Bay, who's also on the show, everybody else though is in the competition. We're all in the semifinals. Oh, wow. So it's me.
That's a good lineup
Howie,
then. It's all the people that advance.
right? Me, Howie D. Mack, Christina McNeese, our headliner Don Arner. Yeah, so it's going to be a great show. It is going down tomorrow night, 9 p.m., $10 at the door. Our man who runs the restaurant is also the DJ there, DJ Worm. He's gonna be playing the music and stuff. It's gonna be a great time. Y'all need to come out to that. And this coming Wednesday, my man Howie D. Mack will be in the semifinals at the Pittsburgh Improv, and I will be down there to support him. Like I know he'll be there to support me the following week. Y'all need to get your asses down there. It's still free admission. Free
admission.
Yeah, so come down there and see some local talent and vote and help Howie advance to the finals.
This Sunday, I'll be back here in studio, 7 p.m. I'm going to be talking about family history, actually. Yeah, I've learned some really, really fascinating things. I wonder if anyone else has looked into their ancestry to kind of see where people came from. I found out some very shocking and surprising things. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why it's interesting and why it's important to know where you come from and and what your history is, and in the history of your family, and I think it's really interesting. I learned some really incredible things. We're also going to talk about my return to the German club, which I'm very, very excited about.
Was ist das?
Yeah, we'll talk about it on Sunday. You have to tune in to find out. That's this Sunday, 7 p.m. Oh, and also the new segment that everyone's talking about, the top 5. I'm dumping the weird news. I'm bringing in the top 5.
Uh-oh.
There are no longer any limits for 5 minutes or under 5 minutes. I'm going to play a song, and in within that song, it'll be about 4 or 5 minutes. I will talk about 5 different subjects.
Okay.
Anywhere across the world.
Okay.
We'll lay it out there, and then we'll also take your top stories as well. That's going to be on River Talk Sunday, 7 p.m. on the Facebook Live, and then, of course, the next morning at 10 a.m. So, it'll be a good time. Jay, you're going to keep... when is this next semifinal for you?
The semifinal for me is December 12th, and I'll be sure to let people know about that.
All right.
Going into next week.
So we'll get into that coming up. But right now, the big one is Howie D. Mack. What date is that? One more time.
That is
for the people.
Wednesday, December 5th at the Pittsburgh Improv, 8 p.m. Be there by 7 so that way you get a good seat and watch Howie do his thing and then vote for him.
That's Jaye Cooper. I'm Brian Crawford. This is Pittsburgh's best local music. And, of course, great bullshitters as well. The River's Edge, riversedgepgh.com.
Later, bitches. I'm back. I'm in the semifinals.
Woo!
Yeah!